Like men, they try to like, it's not even like try to talk because you're at a club, you can't talk.
No.
And so they kind of try to like dance with you, and I just like stop dancing, freeze, and just go, no, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, I'm good. No, thank you.
Sorry.
Welcome to When Harry Dumped Sally. This is a podcast where we watch a romantic movie of sorts and then we discuss the relationships in it.
Yeah.
Specifically, how long are they going to stay together after the credits roll?
And who ends it with who?
Yes, and why?
Yeah.
And are there red flags?
Always.
Yep. Today we watched Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah.
Logline: a middle-aged husband's life changes dramatically when his wife asks him for a divorce. He seeks to rediscover his manhood with the help of a newfound friend, Jacob, learning to pick up girls at bars.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen this movie before.
Yeah.
I really like this movie.
Yeah.
You had not seen it, and I was very excited for you because there are lots of twists and turns.
Yes, I had not seen it. I had seen one clip. I didn't realize of this movie online, which is the chaotic scene where everyone runs into each other in the backyard.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'd seen like a piece of that clip before, and I only realized it as it was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never seen it before. Was really surprised by how funny it is, particularly in the first half.
Yes.
Like, I think it is the movie that is the most intentionally funny of all the movies we've seen.
Yeah. I think it's like, I really like this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely.
Big fan.
But, you know, also mildly problematic.
Sure. Yes.
2011. We've got lots of like, I mean, the whole premise is like womanizer teaches recently divorced man how to be a womanizer.
Yep.
We don't respect women in this movie.
I mean, we don't even respect them now, to be honest.
No.
Like, come on.
So it's actually still relevant.
Yeah.
And do women deserve respect?
Great question.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we'll find out sometime. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay, so do we want to do our thing? We've got two relationships.
Yeah.
We've got Steve Carell and Julianne Moore, Cal and Emily. And then we've also got Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, Jacob and Hannah.
So in terms of like in the log line, the main relationship we're hearing about is Steve Carell / Cal, who I might refer to most of the time as Michael Scott. If I'm being honest, I never remember his name as Steve Carell. I'm just going to be honest here. That's
all right.
where I'm at.
We'll jump around.
So that's kind of the main couple. And then, the second couple.
Yes. The other couple is more secondary, but they are
not Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Gosling,
who
one
is
of the
womanizer.
Yes.
And
still hot in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm coming around.
He's in a lot of rom-coms, so you're going to see his face.
Yeah, I'm coming around.
All right.
His face is less bulk. He's gotten stuff done, huh?
I'm sure he's had work done.
Yeah. He's like filling it out over time. It was a slimmer
I feel
profile.
like also he's just like younger in this one. And I feel like people's faces.
John Travolta got wide.
Yeah, he definitely had work done though.
Oh. But I think he naturally got wide.
Oh, yeah. I think that does just like sort of happen.
Wide.
So he's obviously younger in this movie.
You got to get married before your face spreads, you know?
You got to get married before your face spreads. So once that happens, it's over.
That's what we learned from The Wedding Singer.
Okay. So should we do Cal and Emily and then our prediction, our initial thoughts for each couple?
Oh man, this is a tough one.
I really don't know where I'm going with this.
Me neither. With either of them.
Yeah.
Can I have a second?
Yes.
Okay, and we're starting with the parents.
Yes. We'll go with Cal and Emily first, the main relationship.
Yeah, all these relationships, I could go either way.
Yeah, me too. Let's just go for it. Initial reactions.
Okay.
All right. Cal and Emily. 1, 2, 3.
At least until their kids graduate.
I was going to say forever if they get counseling.
Yeah, I'm with you. They need counseling for sure.
If they get couples therapy, I think they could make it work.
Yeah.
Or I think, yes, they will wait
At
until
least
the kids.
Till then. Yeah. I'm open to forever. If they get counseling, I think they could have a lot of bumpy roads.
I mean, it's going to be very bumpy.
Yeah,
They've
but
got a lot of trust has been broken
Yes.
and they need to rebuild.
Yeah. I'd be down for them to be forever, though. I wouldn't be upset about it.
I think they're
like other
cute.
couples, I'm like, really? But then I'm like,
Yeah.
it's cute.
I think they're kind of cute.
I
There's
didn't feel that way in the first half. The first half of the film or the first third of the film, I'm like, they shouldn't be together. And then it really changed for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a good depiction of like an older adult relationship where they've been together 25 years.
Yeah.
Or they've been married for 25 years. And that comes with baggage. Like, even if you're not dealing with like infidelity or anything like that, like that's a long time.
It is a long time. And they got together so young, as we find out. I think why I was struggling in the first half of it, and we'll get into it, is they started off like with a bang right there from the top of the movie. And I couldn't tell if Steve Carell's vibe is that he's always the way he is, or if it's a response to her saying what she said. And so like I got confused about his personality, and like I don't know if they would work, but but then I'm like, okay, this is his response really. And so anyway, I could see that working.
I agree. Also, I know I was talking about Ryan Gosling being hot, but like I have a weird thing for Steve Carell.
I'm with you. I mean, I don't have
Maybe it's not a weird thing.
No, it's not weird. He's hot. He's got a strong nose. I love a strong nose.
Yeah, he's especially
hot.
Like in this movie later on. I mean, I do like Steve Carell, but it is like a fucked up thing in my head where like once he switches into womanizer mode, I was like, okay, Steve Carell. All right.
It wasn't that did it for me. Maybe it's problematic that what did it for me is when he's like tossing the ball with his son later.
Oh my God.
And talking about how he's going to get his wife back. And I'm like,
your therapist should definitely watch this episode.
Yeah, she should.
All right. Then we got Hannah and Jacob.
Yeah. Should we do our 3, 2, 1, I
right.
guess? Give me another second. This is complicated. 2 couples is a lot of work, too.
It's a lot of work. And this one's hard because they're not the main couple. We get like a little bit with them.
Yeah.
We get more of their personality separately.
Okay. This is also could go either way for me, if I'm being honest, but should we do our 3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1.
At least a couple of years?
I think, I just said nothing. I was like, I'm just going to wait and see. I feel like it could be a couple of years. I think it could last. I don't dislike them, but like,
we don't know
it
enough.
does require a lot of changing on his part. I think them together, they're cute.
They're
I
cute.
like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone together.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, we don't have enough information.
I think that she's like enough of kind of a hard ass that she would give him shit.
Yes.
And he needs that.
Big time. Big time.
But also he's been a womanizer and doesn't respect women for truly the majority of this movie.
Yeah.
And that's concerning, but
it's
I think
like hard
it is
to believe
explained.
that he sticks to it.
Yeah.
To being like, I'm a new man now, But also, I do like him together. And he does admit that he's pretty unhappy with his lifestyle.
Yes. And I think that that's a huge part of it. Like he doesn't really seem to have like friends or much going on.
No, nothing.
Other than he spends time at this one bar that everyone fucking goes to.
Everyone goes to, and yet all these women still keep sleeping with him, even though everyone must know by now his deal,
All the bartenders must be like, don't talk to that guy.
Yeah, he's weird.
Yeah, he's a creep.
But in 2011, they're like, he's a pretty cool guy.
They're like, but...
Actually. All right.
Right off the bat, we've got Steve Carell, Julianne Moore, Cal and Emily at dinner. Maybe an anniversary dinner. I don't know. They're on a date night.
Yeah, we're on a date night. We see like a shot of all the other couples there, all of their shoes playing footsie with each other. Then we see his fucking New Balances. And she has weird ass shoes the whole film, respectfully.
Respectfully, weird ass shoes.
Yeah, she does those ones at some point where it's like the whole shoe is closed except for just like a toe. I don't like it.
Oh.
Why is the toe peeking out? It's when they're sitting outside the parent-teacher conference.
Man, I was not paying attention to her feet that closely, but I don't like that.
They just have done so many shots of shoes and feet that I'm like, fine, I'll look. You want me to look?
If you're going to make me look at your
I'll
feet.
look and I'll think about it because that's what they want.
Yeah.
You know?
They really were just shoving them in our face.
It felt
really
some
just
like Quentin
putting them
Tarantino
out
bullshit.
there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So they're at the restaurant.
They are trying to decide on dessert.
Yeah.
They do what we do in this podcast.
They do 1, 2, 3. Creme brulee. I want a divorce.
Yeah.
Great.
Creme brulee, great choice.
Honestly, yeah.
I love
So's
creme
divorce.
brulee. Also a great choice. 2 really solid dessert choices.
I love the cracky part of the creme brulee. That's what everyone
my
loves about the creme. No one's like, I'm
God.
there for the pudding, right?
No.
They're there for
pudding-
the cracking part.
Yeah, I want to hit it and then I'm happy with the rest of it also. But yeah.
It's a cracking. It's so sad when you get like a small and high creme brulee. You want widest surface area. You want flat and wide.
I want more cracking.
You want more crackling.
Yeah.
Good. Podcast over, you guys. We figured
That's
it
all
out.
we had to, that's actually what we've been trying to figure out this entire time.
Okay.
Then they're on the drive home.
Yeah.
He's not talking to her. He's obviously depressed. Oh, asking for a divorce in public, wild behavior.
So funny, but safer than doing it in private, depending on the person you're with.
He could kill her. So
It is wild.
crazy to
Yeah.
break up with somebody in public and also to
To
ask
end
for
a marriage in
divorce.
public is crazy.
I think that in this moment, she's been like grappling with asking him for this.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, as we find out in a little bit, she slept with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think that she just doesn't know how to deal with the fact that
No.
she did that. And
No.
so getting a divorce feels like the correct response to her.
Absolutely. I think she's like racked with all sort of guilt. I'm sure she's really only been with him too. They've been together since they were 17.
Yeah.
Like
Or 15, I think. They got pregnant when...
15's, their first date or
Yeah.
whatever. So like, I imagine there's a little bit of almost like arrested development relationship wise too. So like, I kind of understand how she spilled it all that insane way in a lot of different ways.
Have you ever broken up with or been dumped in public?
Not that I remember.
Okay. Me neither.
Yeah. No. There is a point where they're in the car and she keeps telling him that like she slept with someone, she wants a divorce, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets out and rolls out of the car and I'm like, Tess has done this.
I did jump out of a moving vehicle once, but it was not because I was getting dumped. It was
to go
because
dump someone.
I was going to go dump somebody. We were in a car. We had been together all day.
From Santa Cruz to the end of the day.
Yeah, we were on the drive back from Santa Cruz to San Francisco.
Yep.
And I was like, I just knew on that drive, I was thinking about it. I was like, I gotta dump this guy. I have to break up with
Have
him.
to.
And I like had the resolve to do it. And I jumped out of the moving vehicle to
Grab another lift to go.
I like called the Lyft for like down the hill. Like I feel like we were driving down a hill and I was like, Lyft, pick me up here. And then I just like dove out of the moving car. It wasn't going that fast. I feel like also the way that this story is told, it sounds like I really jumped out of a moving vehicle, but I did like not give anyone any information.
No, the vibes were very similar.
It was like, I feel like I was like, gotta go.
Yeah, I'll always remember that.
Yeah, what a great time. And then I just showed up like
You
an
met up
hour later.
afterwards. We were having ramen or whatever.
Yeah, and I just show up like crying. I was like, I broke up with him.
Like, yeah, we know.
Oops.
Well done. I like it. I think it's
Yeah.
well played. Better than doing it at the altar like all the other films we've watched, right?
I know. And I didn't break up with him in public. I went back to our apartment.
Very kind.
Let him know.
Generous.
And said,
I love that.
Yeah.
You didn't say 1, 2, 3. What do you want right
1,
now?
2, 3.
Oh, wild. Also,
So-
this is our first film, I think, where one of our main couples has kids and is already married.
Yes.
Which adds like a little bit more dimension too.
Yeah. There's a lot of history here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a falling in love story. It's are we going to stay together?
Are we going to stay together?
through this?
Are we going to like reignite our love?
Right.
All of that stuff.
And in this moment, and I feel like we've had this discussion before, and I feel like you're more of a Steve Carell in this situation.
In what way? What do you mean?
Just real hot daddy vibes.
Thank you.
Because he doesn't really fight in that moment.
He doesn't. He actually says, to her, I'll leave tonight. I'll sign whatever you want. Please stop talking about it.
Yeah. I was like, that's Natasha. Stop talking about it. I'll sign whatever you want. Bye.
Yeah.
And I can see in that moment, I also understand having that reaction. This is horrible information to put on somebody.
Yeah.
And
she's doing it, in a really bad way.
In
She
a
just keeps
really
telling him
bad
more
way.
information that obviously he doesn't want to hear.
no, because she just she's trying to like get it out there.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I understand being in that position as well, but yeah, I think in that moment she wanted him to care. Like she
Yeah.
really wanted him to care.
Yeah.
And he did care. He just wasn't dealing with it in the way that she was hoping for.
He was honestly being a lot nicer than I would be. I'd be like, shut down, not talking to you anymore, leaving, you know?
Yeah. Would
Yeah.
you jump out of the car? I don't even know if I'd get in the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't get in a car.
I think I would be like, okay,
We're going somewhere else.
I guess I'm getting a hotel tonight. Actually, I feel like I would be like, okay, sounds like you're getting a hotel tonight.
It is interesting because I'm like, you're the one who kind of walked out on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But, it's
I feel like it's
2011.
classic, like dad
The mom's going to
ends up
take care of the
moving.
kids.
Yeah, he is like, I can't handle that.
No, that's a woman's
The woman
job.
needs to stay at the house.
Yeah.
But I will sneak over in the middle of the night to do yard work.
Yeah.
As men do.
Like,
That-
I thought it was kind of cute. It was kind of cute. Or maybe it was a metaphor, but I won't think about it too much.
yeah.
Still wants to tend to their lot. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Heroes
I mean,
Out
they're
of
both
Car.
still in it.
Yeah.
Then we're back home. We got Leo Tipton as Jessica, the babysitter who has a crush on Steve Carell.
Yeah, she's 17.
She's 17, but like, I don't know. When I was 17, I had crushes on so many adults. I don't think that it's crazy that she has a crush
You
on
had crushes
him.
on friends' dads?
Probably.
They're like the weirdest.
But that wasn't a friend's dad. That was a dad that she babysits
that she babysat for.
Yeah, that's like a boss, basically.
I guess, yeah.
I agree. A friend's dad, you see them in a different light because
Yeah.
you're over there. But like, she goes over there and like takes care of his kids and like sees him be an attentive dad.
Yeah.
But she isn't like around him because
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like judge them in dad mode of your friend, which is almost like uncle-ish. She doesn't see him that way. She sees him as boss. Okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah. I don't think it's crazy she has a crush on him.
Okay.
She's probably seen him toss a baseball around.
Now with his new haircut, she hasn't seen, and it changes the game. Okay, so yeah, babysitter has a crush on him, but
His kid has a crush on the babysitter,
his
Robbie.
kid's 13. She walks into him like jacking off.
Yeah.
And then he comes out. He's like, I'm sorry you had to see that, but it makes you feel better. I only do it to you.
This kid is wild. This entire movie, I'm like, I don't know.
It's
I don't
very
know.
weird.
I'm like, just be a 13-year-old who doesn't talk. Stop talking.
Yep.
Just keep that to
Please,
yourself.
That's your little secret.
Shut up.
Boys really don't know when to stop it, though. You know, they can't help it. They're like, you got to know everything. I thought it was real good. I thought some good stuff. And
I thought
you
good stuff.
should
I
know
thought
it.
about you
Yeah.
naked.
Yeah, I bet you want that.
Just so you know. That's nice, right? Because I would like it if you thought about me naked.
Yep.
So I'm just
This
doing
is, I'm
you.
pre-reciprocating.
Yeah. So he's also learning early on that like what he wants matters more than what she wants,
Yeah.
which is such a good lesson.
Yes, I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Then we now are meeting Emma Stone, Hannah with her friend Liz.
Yep. Good job
and
knowing names.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm just giving you kudos.
Thank you. And we meet Ryan Gosling for the first time. Emma Stone's hanging out with her friend, and Ryan Gosling comes over and tries to pull his moves on her, and she is not having it.
Yep. Not even a little bit. She like sees through all of his bullshit.
He's being a pushy douchebag. He's
Yep.
like, let me buy you a drink.
Yep.
Which is like annoying. I don't like
it. It doesn't do anything
I
for
don't
me.
like when men hit on me.
No, it makes me immediately feel like prey.
It makes
and
me
I freeze up.
angry.
Yep. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. I feel like immediately I get on the defensive and it's not hot.
Yeah.
And it scares me. I think partially because I'm like, you don't know me.
Yeah. I'm like, you just saw me and
Yeah.
decided that. And I understand, like, I don't know. But like, I'm probably not there to talk to you. I don't know. I don't know what the appropriate way is for a man to approach a woman in a bar.
I don't think there is one. Leave women alone.
I feel like some women want to be hit on in bars.
They should have a bracelet or a card that says so. That says, I am the
Something.
exception to the rule.
Or I feel like you could talk to somebody in like a nice, normal way.
Crazy.
And then
No, a man can't. A man can't, Tess.
if you talk to them in a nice, normal way and they reciprocate, then we can go there. But like, I feel like he just comes off aggressive right off the bat. He's a pushy dude. She's like, nah, I'm going to buy you a drink. I'm going to
Yeah.
buy you a drink. Emma Stone's friend, who's just stupid this
Yeah.
entire movie.
Yeah.
Awful friend.
I mean, I actually disagree. I don't think she's
Really?
awful.
Okay.
She tells Emma, like, this guy you're with is boring and not cool.
Yes.
And you don't like him.
This is true. All right.
Her friend's multifaceted.
Yeah.
She's complex like we all
I
are.
also feel like, okay, yeah, she obviously hates the dude that she's with, who
Yep.
we don't know about. And I did appreciate this part of the movie. Emma Stone does not pull the, oh, I have a boyfriend, I'm not interested line.
Yeah.
Which I feel like women frequently do. And I understand why. It's because men respect other men more than they respect women. So they're like, oh, okay, you're somebody's
like, oh, I'm
property.
so sorry, that's your property.
I didn't mean to. But I, like,
Didn't mean to
at
trespass.
one point, like years ago, really thought about that. And I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore because I want this man to know that I would not talk to them.
I don't like
even
him.
if they were single.
Yep.
And they need to sit with that rejection
That's very nice
and
of you.
and just like learn to deal with that, because you know what? It's not because I am in a relationship. It's not because of
I don't like you.
anything. It's because I do not want to talk to you.
Yep.
So take that information.
That's smart of you.
But it is hard because some men are
It's
crazy
scary.
and violent.
Yeah. It's scary.
But I appreciated that she did that, and we do not know that she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It was just like a hard rejection.
It's also like a little bit unclear what her and this guy's relationship
Well,
is.
this is crazy because we meet him later on, and she's like, I think he's going to propose to me. He doesn't seem to think they are in
I
a
don't even know if
relationship.
they're like official in any way.
I don't know if they're official. Her friend is encouraging her. This is why I'm like, not a great friend. She's like, this dude is boring, whatever. But then she's also like, go home with this guy, cheat on your boyfriend. But maybe her friend is like, dude, this is not your boyfriend.
I think her friend's like, this is not your boyfriend. This is not your guy. Whenever your friend is with someone you don't want them to be with, you're like, hook up with anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything. You're like, try something else.
Yeah.
Anything else. I don't care.
I think it depends on how long the relationship is. But I guess, yeah, if you don't like them, you're just like, just fuck it.
You need to remember there are other things out there. You know? I think she's a great
good
friend.
Maybe she's good.
She's a great friend, probably with bad taste in men, but whatever.
Yeah, because
You know?
she's enamored by Ryan Gosling's dumb, let me buy you a drink. I'm going to take you home. You're coming home with me.
It's so gross.
Yeah, it's very annoying. I feel like when I was younger and men hit on me in bars, I was just like mean to them.
I was a bitch.
Yeah.
When a man would ask for my number, I'd say, give me 10 reasons why I should give you my number. And they would go, because you have a beautiful smile and you're whatever. And I'm like, no, give me 10 reasons why I should give you my number. And then they kind of like, just like deer in headlights, you know, they're like, I have a job, I have a car.
Yeah, you're like, what are you offering here?
Yeah.
Oh, you think I'm pretty? I know I'm pretty.
Yeah, what else you got?
Like, yeah, I've been hit on before. Guess what? You're not the first person to do this. What are you offering?
Yep. And tell you what, they're not offering much.
No. I feel like I got to a point where I would just be really mean to men.
I love that.
I would, like, they'd talk, and I'd be like, why do you think you can talk to me? What? Why do you think? Like, just straight up, I was just like, why are you speaking to me? Why do you think you can do that? This was as I got like, this is like later 20s when I really my bullshit
I respect the hell out of that.
level went very far down.
I would take a little tangent, but I remember when we used to go to the clubs.
Yeah.
And like guys would kind of like come up to you and say something with you, and then they'd walk away immediately. And we were like, Tess, what do you say to them? And you're like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Like men, especially in a club environment, and they come up and they try to like, it's not even like try to talk because you're at a club, you can't talk.
No.
And so they kind of try to like dance with you. And I just like stop dancing, freeze, and just go, no, thank you. And they immediately leave you alone because they're like, oh, like, what the fuck are you going to do with that?
You can't respond to no thank you.
I quit dancing. No, thank you. And then they leave. It's great.
I love no thank you so much.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, I'm good. No, thank you.
Sorry.
Especially at a club, though, when like I can kind of understand a bar environment. Okay, we can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like, I feel like when I was in a situation where I wanted to like hook up or something like that, I would like carry myself in like you're making eye contact with random people.
That's what
You're
I'm saying.
like presenting yourself in a way that's like
you're open.
I'm open. I'm like maybe not closed off to like my friend. And I feel like a big part of being able to hit on someone in person is like reading body language.
Yeah, I know I'm like, wah, don't ever talk to me in a bar. Don't ever talk to women in bars. But I think if a woman's made eye contact with you several times, she's probably interested or she's terrified. And just start approaching and see what happens. You can tell pretty quick.
Yeah, if she closes her body off to you, she's not interested.
No.
Anytime that I've wanted to be approached, I have like made
Been
it
open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's in a bar situation. We can talk to each other. A
Yes.
club, I am probably there with my girls. I am there to dance.
Yes.
I am definitely not there
Nope.
to meet someone.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
I'm there to have fun with my girls.
Yes.
Why are you
Leave me
coming
alone.
near me? Another really great club situation that I loved. It was when I think we were all together and Trevor was there, my partner, and we were all dancing. Trevor had gone to get drinks. Some dude comes up, tries to dance with all of us. And we were like, no.
No, thank you.
Trevor comes back with the drinks and the guy sees him approach us and he went up to him and he was like, don't bother, man. They're not interested.
Bro's looking out for
he's just looking at it. He's like, don't even bother. They don't want it. Trevor was just sort of like, all right, thanks, dude.
And then Trevor walked out of the club.
He was like, oh shit, they're not.
Shit.
He's like, oh, I did not
Things have
realize
changed.
because he respects women.
Thank you. Wow. It's almost a kindness that guy did for us, actually.
That was sweet. What a nice guy.
It was generous of him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay. I don't want any guys to bother you, I guess.
He's like, and I'll make sure no one else talks to you.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right.
We're
at a bar?
We're at this bar, the only bar that anybody goes to in this town, this part of California. We're around LA.
Yeah, quick shout out to the moment where Emma Stone says she likes Conan. Her friend says Conan Ginger Junk O'Brien. Just like Ginger Junk. That's funny. That's
also,
it.
Also, Conan O'Brien.
Hot.
Yeah, I get that.
I got hot ventriloquist puppet.
Ooh, yeah.
That does something for me.
And if he was throwing a baseball.
Oh, man. But really, my hand's up his butt, and I'm making him throw a baseball because he's a puppet.
Think about it, Conan.
Yeah, think about it. You know, the one lookalike I get that's a woman is Conan's assistant. Do you know
the
her?
one lookalike you get that's a woman. Are most of your lookalikes men?
Yeah. It's people on TikTok, they're not friends, they're strangers,
Yeah.
being like very polite and being like, I mean this in the most nice and complimentary way. You look like a woman version of X, you know?
Who do you get?
I've gotten Ben Stiller.
Okay.
I've gotten Hosier. And there's a third one I've gotten that I can't remember, but they're all men.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten this compliment on like TikTok specifically.
I always get Gwyneth Paltrow on TikTok.
Oh, a woman. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I
It's
guess I could see it.
because-
You have like kind of like a very like symmetrical face.
Thank you. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true. But
Why do you think it is?
I think that part of it in the videos I get it on is I do this character that I think kind of talks like her.
Okay.
And so I think if you add the voice to, and maybe we kind of look alike, but yeah, that's the one that I get a lot.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's usually this like very condescending character.
Have you thought about putting, I don't know, an egg up your hoo-ha?
Yeah. Yanni eggs.
All right.
Anyway, so, I don't know who Conan's assistant is, but, wait, maybe? I don't know.
I
Doesn't
don't know her
matter.
name even.
Then Cal goes to this bar another day, a new day, or maybe the same day, but but Emma Stone is left already.
Unclear.
I don't know.
I imagine it's a different day, or else you'd be like, "That's my daughter."
Right. Which is what we find out later. Honestly, I feel like it's one of the great twists in cinematic
It's a
history.
really fun
You
reveal.
really don't see it coming.
And they really get us because they reference her as Nana, and I'm like, "Oh, which one of their moms are they talking
Yes.
about?"
Yeah.
It's good.
So Cal goes to the bar. He goes to drink alone. He's drinking a vodka cran. And he's telling
Out of a straw, like
out of
he's
a
fucking
straw.
gay.
Yes, which we've determined, I think, in other movies. And
But I'm a cheerleader.
yes, men cannot drink out of straws. That is gay. It's so stupid.
It's just so sad how men
Just
can't
like-
have fun things.
Just drink out of a straw.
Yeah.
Drink your pink drink out of a straw.
So he immediately goes to this bar and is announcing to everyone, "Hey, guess what? My wife is having intercourse with someone who is not me."
Yeah.
Fun guy. And this is all such a guy thing.
Oh, absolutely. You have no friends to talk to.
You're just
You have
telling
no
strange
one.
women who aren't listening to you and don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, learn to fucking process your feelings.
Go to therapy. Have friends.
Yeah.
This is why it's important for men to have friends, because someday your partner is going to dump you
For sure.
and you're going to be all alone.
Yep.
And think about that. If you're in a relationship right now,
Yeah.
if you two broke up and you're a man,
Who do you talk to?
who do you have friends?
No, you have your mom, and that's sad.
Or are all of them her friends that you've commandeered?
Exactly.
Consider it.
Also, a little bit in his defense, who I assume is his closest friend, Bernie,
Yes.
comes over, brings him Macy's bag, and says, basically, my wife says we have to pick you or your wife.
Yeah,
And
which
maybe that
does
was his
suck.
closest friend.
That's probably his closest friend, and it
that's
does
sad,
suck
'cause
that
it's
you
also a
have
couple
to
friend.
pick.
I
And that's
just-
the risk with a couple friend, I guess.
I don't think that is this crazy. I feel like the couple, each one should get to choose.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be allowed to hang out with Bernie. Maybe they don't. Bernie should be allowed to hang out with him. Maybe they don't have Steve Carell over at their house.
Right. Maybe she doesn't want to be around him. But
I feel like-
I don't think it's crazy. The friends that I have who are couples, an issue
No.
with us splitting them up?
No, not at all. Usually when I go through breakup and we have couple friends, I'm like, I tell my ex, like, you can take them because they need them more than I do.
Right.
Because they don't have friends.
Right.
It's a kindness.
And he honestly needed him in that moment.
It's really sad.
And instead, he got Ryan Gosling. But my favorite part of this,
Yes.
so he's sitting at the bar sipping on his vodka
Yeah.
cran. Ryan Gosling is off hitting on women as he
Surrounded
does.
by women.
And Steve Carell just looks at them and goes, "Gay." It's very funny.
It's so good.
Great delivery.
This movie was very funny.
Yeah.
I was like very impressed.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny people in this. Like, I feel like all of the main actors are all like very funny
They're
actors.
so good. Julianne Moore's so funny.
So then we have Cal goes into work the next day. His boss is like kind of approaching him, being like,
You did a great
"Hey."
job this quarter, buddy.
Yeah, giving him all these compliments. And so
Yeah.
Cal's like, "Who told you that I was getting a divorce?"
And I thought he was just being like paranoid or crazy and letting everyone know. And then the boss is like, Amy heard you crying in the bathroom. We thought it was cancer.
Yeah, he's like, "Thank God, man, it's just a divorce."
And they laugh.
And everyone's just like, "It's just a divorce."
He tells the whole office, everyone, and they're like, it could have been cancer. And he's like, Steve Carell's like, yeah, I'm lucky.
Lucky, it's just my relationship.
Oh, so funny. What a good
So
scene.
sad, very funny.
I love that.
Yeah, but at least it's not cancer, I guess.
You know,
Depending on the
Depends on
cancer,
the cancer is what I was going to say.
honestly.
Yeah.
But they got
It's a cancer of the relationship, really.
Yeah. Wow, deep.
Think about that, someone.
Deep. Somebody think about it,
Someone-
because we're not going to. Then he's coming over to move his stuff out of the house.
Yeah.
He's got his U-Haul. And
Julianne Moore said something that I've thought about very recently.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, maybe I had a midlife crisis. Can women have midlife crises? And you never hear about it. It's like women, I don't know, self-reflect or something
Yeah.
before that happens.
I think that we're allowed to have a midlife crisis. I plan to.
We should be allowed.
I would
honestly
love to have one.
I think I've blown it. I've had too many crises regularly.
I like.
You know, I've blown
Yeah.
all my beans already. I'll keep having little ones, little spurts, but I'm not going to have a big old one.
I just have a lifelong crisis.
It really, yeah.
But I wonder what a woman's midlife crisis looks like, because, like, I don't know. I'm like not going to go buy a sports car. I feel like that's such like the man thing, is like, I'm going to buy a stupid car. And
Yeah. I feel like it's also often a father, and I just don't think mothers get that luxury.
No.
They have to be taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
They don't get to be like, oh no, where'd my
Oh,
life?
no, I'm going to blow all my money on
yeah.
a car.
Yeah. They're like, no, we made the kids. We made them.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. I just realized I might die soon.
Yep. So honestly, it was nice to see a woman have a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
perhaps.
They got married so young. Now
Yeah.
I'm 44. I get that you've been with somebody since high school.
Yeah.
I know it works out for some people, but that sounds so hard.
It's crazy. Supposedly they got married at like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Their timeline's a little confusing because she was pregnant at 17, and I guess maybe they went to get married after the baby was born or something.
44, married 25 years.
Almost 25 years. So they got married at 20, 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
That's crazy. And I'm not surprised that it didn't. I mean, it might work out,
Sure,
but
but at this point-
you would have.
You changed too much.
You changed so much, and you've only been with one person your
Yep.
whole life. I know people do this, maybe successfully. I don't think I could do that
I just don't
successfully.
think if you get married, you shouldn't do it until like at least you're 30 or older. You know,
Yeah.
when your personality is a little bit locked in, your life's a little bit more locked in.
Definitely, like before the age of 25 is crazy to me.
Yep, I stand by 30.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, or never, whatever.
Maybe 40, you know?
Again, or never, whatever.
50? You got to know who you are.
Yeah, she's so funny. She like starts basically doing the thing that she did the first scene with him, where she just like can't stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I went to see the Twilight movie by myself. I don't know why I did that. It was so bad. It's just so
Just
funny.
crying. It's very funny. I want to know which Twilight movie it was.
Let's see. We're in 2011. I assume it was the first one.
First one.
'Cause the first one was really bad.
That one came out in 2008.
Oh. I mean, I've seen all of them. Maybe they started shooting it in 2008,
all
though.
of them?
I think so. Like a few years ago in a cabin with
Eclipse
friends.
came out in 2010.
It could be Eclipse.
Yeah, it might be Eclipse. And then the first Breaking Dawn came out in 2011. I only saw the first one.
I really think it's the first film because that was just
Sure.
like extraordinarily bad.
Aren't they all?
The way the first one is filmed is so bizarre.
It's kind of insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it really doesn't know what it's doing.
We should do Twilight for this pod. We'll have to watch all of them.
Do we do all of them in one episode or each one? I guess we have to do all of them in one
have to do
episode because
all
they
of 'em 'cause
end up
it-
together. I'm open to it.
I'm open to it, but I want to have.
We gotta save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, that's a Patreon.
That's a
for
Patreon.
Sure. You are paying.
You are paying for that.
You don't get that shit for free.
No,
we have
you
to
do
watch
not.
5 movies.
Yep.
God.
That's the Patreon. We'll keep Patreon there. We keep that in the Patreon and
That's
fee
the
picks in the
only thing
Patreon.
there is.
That and fee picks. Twilight fee picks. That's it. All right.
Okay, where are we? Twilight.
I don't
Okay.
know. Does it have to be a comedy though? The first one is a comedy.
I read the books.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Okay.
whatever. We're back at the bar.
We're back at the bar. He goes
the
to his bar
only bar.
every night.
I want to know what this fucking bar is.
Should we look it up?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. It never existed beyond the confines of Stage 19 on the Warner Bros. Burbank
okay.
lot.
That makes sense. They film it like half of the movie is
That's
filmed
exactly
here,
what
so
they
it
say.
makes sense.
Since the bar figures so much in the story, it wouldn't have been practical to close down a high-end bar for the amount of shooting required.
Yeah.
Fake bar.
We're in like Van Nuys, kind of. So we're like kind of in the valley is where we assume they live. They're always at this bar.
Yep.
Go somewhere else. He's at this bar. This is when his friend comes and says that he can't be with him. And then Ryan Gosling is here again because he's always here. And Steve Carell is yelling about being a cuckold.
He says, you know a word not used very often anymore? Cuckold. And I'm like, babe, we need to get 2025. That's
Yeah.
all we use here. Every other word's cuck.
Yeah. This movie brought back cuck.
Honestly, it did. And later, I guess Emma Stone says the word bang, and Ryan. Do I keep calling him Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is like, who uses the word bang? And I'm like, babe,
Everyone.
we're here.
Bang
we're
is
here.
great. What a great word.
Wow,
You
this
got
movie-
a bang, you got a bone.
You got a bang and bone. This movie is very prescient. Okay. Wow.
Then we
really,
get the men can't drink through straws, blah, blah, blah.
yeah. I just can't tell you how many times in my notes it says Ryan Reynolds instead of Ryan Gosling. It's crazy.
How many Ryans can there be? And the
It's a
answer
bit
is too
much.
many.
Okay, so yeah, he keeps referring to his straw and later his dick, Ryan Gosling does, as a schwanz.
Yeah.
Is that Yiddish?
I assume so.
Is he supposed to be Jewish in this story?
I've never assumed that Ryan.
Me neither. That's why I'm
Gosling
so
is Jewish.
confused by this.
So-
Oh, it's German.
Oh.
Schwanz is a German surname. It's a variant of Schwanz, which means tail in German.
Oh, so it's kind of like dick. It's like
I guess.
the German version of
Noun,
dick.
cock, a slang word for the penis. Yeah,
Okay.
Schwanz.
Schwanz.
Interesting.
Well, he uses that, and then Ryan Gosling. Now I'm about to do the Ryan Reynolds thing.
Sorry.
Jacob is like, I'm going to help you rediscover your manhood. And basically, he is the OG Manosphere podcast.
100%.
That's what he is doing. He is like, let me help you fall down the alt-right pipeline.
So I think it's really a mix here. It is that mixed with what we see essentially Queer Eye, an episode of Queer
Yes.
Eye. Like it is very like it's borderline homoerotic how much he's like, I'm gonna make you a man.
Yeah.
You know?
They should kiss.
They should kiss. They get so close several times. He holds his face right up to his face several times. He literally like stands with his like legs open.
Yeah, he's got his dick in his face many times.
It's so funny.
And just like lean in, have a little kiss.
Yeah. Just do a kiss. So he makes them meet at the mall.
Yes. And I had a question about this. So he's like, all right, meet me at the mall. He takes some woman home. Hey, fancy face, you want to go? Stupid. They're going to the mall. And at this point, Steve Carell's got his apartment.
Yep.
He's having this babysitter come over. I was like, you have your kids at your apartment for the first time and you're calling a babysitter?
Wow.
You
Tess,
can't
obviously
spend
haven't.
time?
Tess, disagree. You've obviously never had
A divorced
a
dad?
piece of shit divorced dad, okay? Because this was most of our time.
I am not surprised, but I'm just saying.
It's like, you get us maybe a few times a year and you bring in a babysitter.
Yeah.
You have the whole rest of the year to
You have
fuck your
all
girlfriend.
the time
What's going
to
on?
do this.
Yep, I remember getting
But-
babysitter a lot. Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
Yep. Anyway.
Dads are cool,
This is
especially
normal
when they
behavior.
get divorced. Oh, I'm sure of it because again, I'm like, what
You
are we
know how
doing?
like husbands are like, I gotta babysit my kids tonight? I'm like, you mean raise the kids you sired?
You
What?
mean, yeah, be a parent?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing
That
when they
shit's
say that
annoying.
shit. I wish mothers would start using it.
Yeah.
I wish. You know, like, I gotta babysit my kids tonight.
Yeah.
I'd love that. They should.
Do that, moms.
Do it, moms. All the moms listening,
Think
do
about
it. Do it.
He leaves him with the babysitter. We're about to go to the mall where Hannah is having her goodbye party, maybe right nearby.
Yeah.
And this is when Josh Groban, her boyfriend, is like, the friend doesn't like him.
Nope.
But it seems like the reason she doesn't like him is because he's not hot enough, but he's also like boring.
I think she is very aware he's boring.
Yeah.
And I really don't think Emma gives us or her like enough justification for like why she actually likes this guy.
No, and
it's a
it's
lot of
still
he seems
unclear.
nice, it seems right. Like it's a very like
logical.
picket fence in the box sort of situation,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. So that's happening, but then we pan out and Ryan Gosling's eating pizza in slow motion.
It's so funny. So there are a few things that happen here. He gives him so much shit. Ryan Gosling gives Steve Carell so much shit about his
New Balances?
his shoes, his New Balances, and also gives him so much shit for a super cuts haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And those two things were a very big part of my recent ex. Obsessed with New Balances, had like a Supercuts, like a punch card, like a subscription. Yep. So he's right. You're pathetic excuse for a man. Anyway.
What?
It was all
feel
about his New
like
Balances and his Supercuts haircut.
That's okay.
Yes.
Whatever if you get your hair cut at Supercuts,
Sure.
like do what you gotta do.
Yep.
But to like have like a card and be like, let me
It's my
show you
Supercuts
my
card.
Supercuts card.
And
What are you
that
trying to tell us?
combined with his like thousands of dollars worth of different shoes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is the vibe you're striking here?
He was like really into shoes though. Are New Balances like nice?
They are cool now to
Okay.
him because the old dad look is cool.
No, or whatever.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right.
It's ridiculous.
So Jacob would disagree with him though. He would take those New Balances off and throw them off a balcony.
He would, and he would say to him, "Hey, I'm either going to help you or euthanize you."
And he says, he goes to get a haircut. They have a little makeover. They're shopping. Ryan Gosling is, of course, hitting on some woman. Steve Carell comes out
Yep.
all like dressed up, and he's like, "Would you sleep with him?" And the
She's
woman
like,
says,
"Yeah."
"Yeah." 'Cause Steve Carell is
flips
hot.
out. He can't believe it either, you know?
Yeah, which also I feel like this is a thing with getting into a relationship so young. I feel like there's a level of confidence that you get by like being
Like wanted
single
from that age.
and wanted and like on your own.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you like, he's obviously developed this image of himself that is so based on what his
Like only this woman could like me.
Yes.
And before then I was 13.
Right. And like no one was
me.
interested. So I'm obviously like unattractive and this is the only person I could be with.
I could see that.
I think that's definitely a thing.
I could see it actually going both ways really easily.
Sure.
If you've always had a woman who loves you and is attracted to you from a young age, you could be thinking like, oh yeah, everyone feels this way about me.
Maybe.
You know, you got so much love. And then I think you see this with dudes who get out of a divorce and they're like, oh, I'm going to go out on the market, you know? And then it turns out they're just like schlubs and no one wants them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I agree. It could be either way. I think for him, it is obviously the first one. And Ryan Gosling lets him know your wife cheated because you lost sight of who you are as a man and a lover.
Yeah, it's crazy. All of this is very, you said like alt-righty, manosphere.
Yes, it's very manosphere podcast.
Very, like pickup, his whole thing is very pickup game, pickup artist.
Yes, which I think was a thing at this time. That TV show was happening on like VH1.
So it legit was a thing. I think it was in 2009. I met a guy friend and he was reading a book called The Game by
Chris Angel. Did Chris Angel do
it's
pickup
Chris
things?
Angel's like
protege.
Yeah, something like that. I forget who it's by, but it's a guy, and like his main things were like, you got to peacock, you got to wear something crazy, you gotta not hit on the hottest one, but right in front of her, you gotta hit on the one who's slightly less hot. So she's like, what? How come you're not talking to me? You know, and you gotta neg them a lot.
Yes, negging is a big thing. Which Ryan Gosling does do.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's such a like. I remember reading it pretty young because my friend, or guy friend of mine who I didn't realize was absolutely in love with me, but he was reading it and I'm like, this is really stupid. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, how about you and I, now that you have all these tricks and you've been reading it, we go to this ice skating rink, see who can get a number first. I get a number first from like a couple different people so quickly. And he like begs a woman to give him his number for a competition, you know? And I'm like, what are we doing here? This is bullshit, you know? Like, I think any woman that you'd really like want to be with, I don't think would like fall for this stupid shit.
No, but I don't think that they're looking for a relationship. They're just looking to get laid. That's sad.
They are. It is sad.
So this is what he says. It is, I don't know, weird manosphere shit. Then we're back at the bar. We find out that he's only been with Julianne Moore, one woman, which, you know, that would be hard. I can't imagine.
Yep.
They go back to the bar. Ryan Gosling's like, hit on this woman. And he does it. Oh, wait. No, sorry. I'm messing up where we are. We're back at the bar. Ryan Gosling is like hitting on women. Steve Carell still is not confident enough to do that.
Nope.
Ryan Gosling leaves Steve Carell with this like
$837 check.
Yeah. Why are we always at this bar? It is so expensive. And they had a lot of drinks. I was like, you guys should be like hammered. It was
a lot of drinks. Well, I think the creepy element of this is he's buying a lot of drinks for a lot of women.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he's drinking, you know, which is yuck.
Which is gross.
Yep.
But also these drinks are probably super expensive. And this is 2011.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing?
That's a lot of drinks. Like, even if this is a pricey bar 2011, these drinks are probably $10 max. That's what, 80 drinks?
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I guess it could be like he's trying to impress with really top shelf drinks, and who knows how much that. I don't really know. It's crazy. Intercut with this, we see his wife or ex-wife Julianne Moore scanning a Divorce for Dummies book.
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't tell if like she's scanning these to give to her husband or she's borrowing the book and scanning them for herself.
I think it's like a library book, maybe. Kevin Bacon is David Leidenhagen.
That's what Kevin Bacon is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He comes in, he's like, I like you. And she's like, this was obviously just
he's like, I want to be with you. And he's like, you're basically asking, she says, you're asking to pre-board the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay. Okay. Yeah. We're at the There's a lot of stuff actually that happens.
So much stuff happens.
The son comes and visits the mom after the son makes an A's for Assholes speech.
Yeah, he does these.
School.
They're reading the
Scarlet Letter,
which is very relevant to the movie.
I guess they bring it up
it's
a
about
lot.
adultery.
I guess it is about adultery, but the adultery isn't. I feel like it's not what anyone's actually. I feel like this son, it has to do with like unrequited love for some reason.
Sure. He's really obsessed with this babysitter. He needs to calm the fuck down.
He texts her a lot. She's like, no, and that's when he gets upset and gives a speech.
Yeah, and then he has to go to his mom's office.
Yeah, the mom's taking him out of school, so now he's her at the office, and that's when he tells the mom, like, Dad's going out a lot, and she doesn't really like that, and he's like, he's sad, but he looks better, you know?
And then David, like, comes in, is introduced to this child. Mom leaves him there, and then David's like, this is a good time to talk to this.
He comes back into the room to talk to the son because he thinks like, oh, maybe if I'm like with the son, then his mom will like me.
Yeah.
The son does an amazing move. The guy sits down and the son like does the poop 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 to the office chair to elevate more to be taller than him.
And says, so David, I hear you broke up my parents' marriage. And he says, he's not going to give up on my mom, just like I'm not going to stop sending Jessica text messages that make her uncomfortable. Every man in this movie, including the 13-year-old boy, sucks.
Yeah, they're all problems. And no one's really telling them how they are problems.
No, somebody needs to this 13-year-old be like, this girl does not want you to text her. Stop doing that. I love the old cell phones too, also.
They're
anytime
so
I'm
fun.
watching an old
They're the
movie.
spread up ones with a keyboard in the bottom.
Those
are
the best.
Those were fun.
I love like a slidey phone.
I don't know how long I even had like an actual keyboard phone for. I feel like it was so brief. I remember being on this tiny one that just had numbers, and then I remember being on a Razor. I don't know if I ever had one of the slidey guys in between.
I had a slidey.
How fun.
Probably right before I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
Or I didn't have an iPhone.
Were you never on the
smartphone.
Razor game? I feel like Razors were so big in
I
2007,
did not
2008.
have a Razor, but I had a similar.
Yeah.
I had like the off-brand Razor.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
That's sick.
Sidekicks also. There weren't any sidekicks in this movie, but I feel like those were the really popular ones where you like flick the screen and they like twist it up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I never had one of those.
What a good time.
Right.
We kind of cut back and forth between like him trying to, Ryan Gosling trying to teach Steve Carell stuff. He says a thing when they're at the gym that's crazy. He says, the war between the sexes is over and we won. We won the second they started doing pole dancing for exercise.
Mm-hmm. And even though we won, they deserve our respect. And it's like, you don't respect them. But yeah, this is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so sad. And then part of it's sad because like, not with the pole dancing stuff, but like, he's not wrong. Like, men have it all better. If that's the war, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was pretty bad. I mean, it's very bad right now, but
2011, it's pre-Me Too.
It's pre-Me Too.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's not even that great post-Me Too, but yeah, anyway.
No, it's still not good. I don't know if it ever got better, but there was like hope for a hot second.
Yeah, but
maybe.
every time there's something like that, there's always just an enormous backlash where it's like, I don't even know if we've taken the 2 steps forward enough to get 1 step back.
No.
It feels like
men really can't handle women having any sort of like
I know
happiness. I think
I know that's like a stretch for us to say because we generally love men on this podcast, but
yeah, big fan. Now he's gonna go pick up a woman for the first time.
Yeah, he's like, I think you're ready, pal.
Ryan Gosling says, buy her a drink even if she doesn't want one. Don't do that.
Icky.
Gross. Tell them to come home. Talk about her. Make her impress you. Nag her. Blah, blah, blah. He approaches this woman, tries to buy her a drink. She's 5 years sober.
It was so funny. I loved it. She says she's sober. He brings over the bar. He's like, no, I'm getting you a drink anyway. And she says, I'm 5 years sober. And the bartender's like, what do you want? He goes, nothing. And I'm like, I love that moment. I do want to say regarding Ryan Gosling's pickup advice, some of this advice is very useful.
Okay.
I wish more men got the advice on dates to never talk about yourself.
Ooh.
Most dates are guys 90% of the time talking about themselves.
Men love to talk about themselves.
They love to talk about themselves and they don't ask her questions. And I'm like, actually, a little bit of this advice, not bad. Maybe ask a woman a question.
Yeah.
Make her think you're interested. Make her think you care.
Women love that.
Instead, men are like, here's everything about me. And if I'm being generous, I think some guys it's nervous and they want you to like them or be impressed by them. But a little bit of that advice. Pretty good.
We also would like to talk about ourselves if you would give us a second.
If you would seem interested.
Yeah.
So part of that one element, pretty good advice. Like ask her a lot of questions. Don't talk about yourself.
Yeah.
What a dream. Anyway, I get that it's bad.
Friend is there. Oh, wait, no. Then they hook up. They go home.
With this sober woman.
Yeah.
Who's a teacher.
Wow. Teacher with an alcohol dependency. Boring.
He says that. It's so crazy. It was so funny.
He's trying negging.
He's really
and
bad.
He realizes
at it.
being more honest is like what works for him in this moment.
Yeah. I think everyone knows the term negging by now, right? The idea
I would
is
assume so. Yeah,
you
can
kind of
explain
like
it. I'm gonna have water.
You're trying to make a woman's confidence go down, but you don't want to do it so much so that like she leaves because she's hurt by it. You know, you want to kind of like slide it in like real subtle.
Mm-hmm. Subtly means so she feels like she has to impress you.
Yeah, where she's like, no, actually, blah blah blah. You know,
yeah.
And I feel like I remember some guys doing it to me. Like, I remember one guy doing it like literally like by the book. By I think I read it, like a quote in the book is what I remember a guy doing to me, and I'm like, be creative at least,
right.
You know, but it's like, you look nice for this, or like that dress looks nice for being like this on, you know, just like something. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Gross.
Okay. Yeah. So he goes home with that woman who supposedly gets off on honesty because he keeps being honest about like all of this stuff. And she's like, this is so hot. Like, he's like, I love my wife, blah, blah, blah. And at some point he says, I'm a little bit worried you have AIDS. And then she pauses and she's not interested for a second. And then he's like, just kidding or whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But they hook up and then he's like, all right.
Game on. I know how to do this.
He is ready to fuck. And this is, I think Steve Carell is hot, but unfortunately, I was just like, okay.
This did not do it for me.
I know. We'll unpack it when it happens.
Hopefully my therapist listens to this and we can just talk about it later. You know?
Okay, so now Jessica, the babysitter, she's finding out from her parents that apparently Cal is sleeping around a lot. The mom is mentioning it to the dad.
Who's Bernie.
And then Jessica's like, I need to get in on this.
Yep, so she goes to this like hot girl at school.
And she's like, you're always sleeping with older guys, right? And she's like, always.
And right before that, something crazy happens. She says something to the woman, and the woman says, my lips are arf, arf, arf. She starts making seal noises, like my lips are seals.
Yeah, that was stupid.
So bizarre. Anyway, yes, okay. So she's like, how do you sleep with older guys? And the woman's like, first off, I have a huge rack.
Got a huge rack. You don't, but send him a dirty picture.
Yeah.
I don't know. Robbie has set up some weird stage at this point. This kid has got to stop.
It's very scary.
He's got to chill the fuck out. And somebody needs to tell him to chill the fuck out.
And I'll tell you what, nobody does.
No one does.
Everyone
but you know what they
encourages
do
this behavior.
next? Throw a baseball around.
Hot. Hot. Well, before the baseball around time, we see a scene of the background with Julianne Moore, with Kevin Bacon doing something to the lawn, and it's Steve Carell's nightmare. And so he breaks into his old place to start fertilizing.
Yes, this is when he starts doing
aerating
yard
the
work.
ground, all of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yes, then we see him and his son tossing a ball outside apartment, and that is when he does look hot, in my opinion. Okay, I just don't trust. Like, it's not hot to see I know he's full of shit when he's hitting on these people.
I know he's full of shit too.
I know, but like really icks me out still, even though he is hot. Anyway, whatever. So then, he's tossing the ball.
It's something about like, I don't even know, just like the makeover, the confidence. As much as I'm like, no, this is bad, but like,
you're like, okay.
I was kind of like, all right, Steve Carell. I didn't like it when Ryan Gosling was doing it, but there was, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know. Something about like a sad man feeling a little bit confident. I'm like, okay. All right.
I love that. It's very generous of you, Tess. So he's giving this kid dumbass advice. She's your soulmate. Don't give up on her. And the kid said she doesn't even care. There's no like, do you have any idea if this woman likes you back? There's no like, what's this woman to give you signals? Like there's no any real like curiosity about what's going on to give real advice. Instead he's like, yeah, you got to go for it, whatever you can, son.
You got to be pushy.
Boy, keep pushing.
Keep on harassing her and she'll fall for you eventually.
Yep.
Then we have parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah, exactly.
It is their first time seeing each other.
Yep.
Since, the divorce, I guess.
Yep.
And we find out in this moment that the son's teacher is the woman that Steve Carell slept with.
Yep. And it's very uncomfortable.
Yes. She, freaks out in the parent-teacher conference, calls him an asshole, says he allowed her to go downtown for 45 minutes because he's nervous. That was a great, I love her calling that out.
So funny.
Too long.
And then he says, you know what? She's an alcoholic, which is crazy.
They leave. Yeah. Julianne Moore's like sad. She's like, I can't upset because he slept with the son's teacher. And then he's like, well, I've had sex with 9 women actually. And he seems like actually surprised by that. And she is obviously horrified by this. Yeah. But again, she was the one who cheated. So she doesn't really have that much right to be upset about it. She doesn't have a leg
to stand on.
But I also understand her being like, wow, I guess, fuck me. I guess you're doing great.
Yeah. I think there's also we're supposed to be going through this scary, sad process of divorce and focusing on our kids maybe and whatever. Yeah. And
instead you've slept with 9 women.
Okay. Wow.
Which is a thing that I think they're going to need couples therapy if they're going to stay together, because there's a lot of hurt and a lot of things that need to be worked through.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, the fact that she cheated. But I think that she's always going to have this in her head, and she slept with now 1 other person, and he slept with 9.
Yep.
I don't know.
She's got to make it even.
Hard.
That's what we all agree.
It's got to be equal.
It's got to be equal.
Otherwise, it's not going to work.
And this comes up again, this thing that he said about his wife, which is that she's a perfect combo of sexy and cute. Mm-hmm. He said it to this teacher, whatever. And maybe it's just my experience, but I'm like, doesn't every guy say that? Maybe to me, when guys think they're cute, but they want to have sex with you, but they don't find you sexy necessarily, but they're like, you're the perfect combination of cute and sexy. I'm like, no, you just think I'm cute and you want to have sex with me. That's different. It's different. I feel like it's something I've heard a lot.
I feel like I've heard that.
I've heard it a lot.
Yeah. And I think we're both cute and sexy.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Do you disagree?
I think you are the perfect combination of cute and sexy, actually. Definitely.
Thank you.
100% no brainer. But I feel like they keep acting like this is such a rare thing to hear.
No, it's like
who wrote
women
this?
are cute and sexy.
Yeah, that's
it's
kind of
what we do.
That's what
kind of our thing.
Being a woman is, particularly if you get to know her. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just this isn't a real scene, but there's a moment where it cuts to Ryan. I keep calling Ryan Reynolds in my notes, but Ryan Gosling is doing games on the back of a cereal box salon.
Yeah.
I just liked that.
Yeah.
I like that for him. It was very Ken coded.
Yes. Ryan Gosling was perfect for Ken.
Yeah, truly.
So then we go to Hannah. She's at this restaurant where she has passed the bar now.
And so she has a banana-shaped cake he got for her because he calls her Hannah Banana.
Wow, what a clever man. And So this part confused me because this is where she's like, I thought he was going to propose,
Yep.
which again, if you think someone's going to propose to you, you presumably have been in a long-term relationship.
Something.
But he asks her to become a permanent lawyer. So then I'm like, is he her boss?
That's what I'm confused about too.
Is he her boss and she's made up this relationship in her head?
Yeah.
Is she crazy?
A little, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's also like, maybe he's like abusing his power in a way or implying things to her that are confusing her.
Totally.
If there is that power dynamic, we don't know.
So this is all very confusing.
Yeah.
She's like, I thought you were going to
Gonna
propose.
propose.
He's like, oh, that's like way in the future. Like he acts like she's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't realize you thought we were there. I need to think about us long term.
She gets
Love
very
her big
mad.
reaction. Love that.
I love a dramatic reaction.
Me too.
She chugs some guy's gin.
Yeah.
And then storms to the bar that everybody is always at.
Yep.
And finds Ryan Gosling there because she knows he's going to be there
Yeah,
because it's
that's
the
all
only
he does.
bar.
Yep.
And she knows he'll be there and she's like, she
You.
kisses him. It's a pretty
She
cute
goes there and she goes,
moment
"You."
or a hot moment or whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
I kind of liked it.
She makes out with him. She takes him to his house. He starts making her some really fancy drinks where he like
An old
puts
fashioned.
something on sugar, muddles. Yeah, the whole thing. He brings them. She brings one to her, one himself. She chugs his and she goes, "That's not my." Sorry, she chugs hers. Goes, "That's not my drink." Then she grabs his and chugs his, and she's like, "That's not my favorite."
She's like, it's not my favorite. Thank you. But she's like getting nervous. She was like confident in the moment, which I get. You have that bit, you have anger driving you to
Yeah.
do something crazy. I've
Yeah.
definitely been in these positions before where like anger has driven me to do something insane.
Yeah.
And then like as that wears off, you're just sort of like,
Oh, wait, I'm here
geez.
now. I've gotten myself here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very funny. She does. Yeah, it's very relatable. This whole like kind of like rest of this scene with her and him, where she's like, "What do we do now? What do you usually do with these women?" Blah blah blah. She makes him take off his shirt, and she basically starts like. It's exactly how I have. I remember being at a bar once in Europe with a friend, and I was drunk, and I think there's this like coked out Australian hanging out with us. Very like classically hot, tall, built, blonde, not my thing. But at some point he shows us his abs, and I like keep touching them, being like, "Is this real? This is crazy. This is very funny." Like my friend has been a great time with me, just like objectifying this guy. Because he's just like, really? This is what
you
God.
look like?
Wow.
You're like, okay.
Okay, I guess. Yeah.
It's not, it really does feel like you're just kind of like, I guess, congrats.
Yeah. Hope you're proud. What do you do with this?
Yeah.
Who's this for?
I don't know. But you are just like, good job.
Good job, buddy. You've been working at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she's like, what's your big move?
Oh my God.
He works Dirty Dancing into the conversation. And they do the time of your life.
She runs towards,
jump,
he picks her up.
and he picks her up. And okay, what I want to say about this move, this is his big move that he does with the women. And he's like, I can do the Dirty Dancing move. But I'm like, but the woman has to be talented as well.
So I didn't know how much, it was a lot of work. The jump was whatever, but the work to keep your legs up in that move is some work as well.
That is some core work that she is going to have to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's literally no way that this works on every woman. If she's kind of like floppy and drunk because you've been feeding her drinks all night, she can't do this move.
No, she can't do it, but she's still like, he did it.
He did it.
You
so
know?
like even, and probably if she fails, then he gets to be like, oh my God, oh, you mess.
And she's like, wait, you
now
see what
you
I
have
can
to
do?
sleep with me to prove that you're not a disaster.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cause I was like, there's literally no way I could do this move.
It's just so embarrassing that this is the thing he does. And she calls it out too, which is great.
Yeah.
They try the move and it actually works, which is dumb. Whatever.
They go to hook up, but she's asking him questions about himself, and he's never revealed things to
She
a
really
woman
asking questions about
before.
himself. She's talking about the pillow. She's talking about other things, like, which is very how I would be and am in bed, you know, like this is exactly how I like to ruin sex. Cause I think men say, like, I think there's not a lot of ways women can be bad at sex, but one of the ways men describe women being good at sex is when they're vocal. And I am vocal during sex, but not in the way anyone likes. You know, like last time a guy made me come afterwards, I said, that was really cool. No one wants that.
Wow, good job. Oh, wow, thanks a lot.
Thanks so
Just
Yeah. But then they were chatting, and then I think his vulnerable moment was what you would almost never hear a man asking, because usually he's told a woman all of the vulnerable things about himself, but he says, will you ask me something personal about myself? And I'm like, usually women have to ask for this. This is crazy, you know?
Because he usually isn't vulnerable.
Yeah.
He also has the $5,000 massage chair from Brookstone. He has a shopping addiction.
Definitely.
He's trying to fill the void with
Yes.
all of the things. He's trying to buy happiness. He admits that he was not happy. His mom was very cold. His dad is sweet and dead.
Yeah, and he keeps talking about his dad being too soft and too sensitive. I don't know what that means to him or why that's a thing in his brain.
This is supposed to be like, in his head, his mom was kind of a bitch. His dad took it, and then his dad died. And so this is like formed into some like image that he has of women.
He's got to be hard to deal with a woman or whatever.
Which is, fucked up.
Yeah.
They fall asleep without having sex.
She covers him with a blanket and gives him a kiss on the forehead, which is fun because in the beginning of that scene, she's like, we're going to have R-rated stuff tonight, not PG-13 where I get too drunk, you tuck me into the blanket and kiss my cheek or whatever. And we see the cute reversal at the end where she covers him with a blanket and gives him a kiss on the cheek or whatever.
This whole hookup is very you-coded.
I know. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's me. This one's me.
This one's me.
This one's me. It's a lot of talk in both senses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck you real good, and I'm like, what are you pillows made out of? Huh?
Weird little characters.
Tell me about your mom. Yeah. Anyway.
So that is happening, and now they're hanging out, and he's ignoring Cal's calls, which is like kind of a dick move, Ryan Gosling. He's like, I don't really need you anymore because now I'm seeing a woman,
it's so
and she
sad.
can fulfill my friendship needs.
It's so
as
sad.
men do. Men, when's the last time you talked to your friend? Text them.
Text them. Be nice to them.
Yeah, cultivate your friendships. The male loneliness epidemic, it's not because of women.
It's because of you, okay?
Yeah.
Having your like brokens on Spotify, that's not friendship.
No.
Having us on Spotify, though, is friendship.
It's friendship.
And allyship.
We're doing wonders to cure the male loneliness epidemic.
We're just like, you're pieces of shit.
Well, we're giving great advice. Text your
Honestly?
friends, go hang out in person.
Yeah, when you hang out with a woman, ask her a question. Don't be a creep.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Jesus. Then Rachel's going on a date with David.
And she tells Dave that she wanted to be a ballerina. And David says, what is it with women and ballerinas? And I'm like, fuck you. What is it with men and fucking anything? What's it with men and the Batman? Okay. What is it with men? Oh my
God. Men need to calm the fuck down about the Batman in our comments.
Uh-huh.
Stop it.
Every man's like, well, you don't like long movies? And they say, what about the 3-hour Batman that I love? All of them say this.
Why did so many men comment this in our... Why? Why did we get so many comments about this? Why did you all bring up the Batman?
I don't know. They're all losers.
So fucking... Like... It would be one thing if all these men came to our comments and they named different long movies.
It's something weird when they all said... The Batman.
Like, what side of TikTok did this end up on? The Batman side?
The Batman side,
because there's no reason for it to.
With all of his Bat Boys commenting. Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
So she wanted to be a ballerina. She's never been to the ballet. Live a little.
Weird. Yeah. Just go to the ballet. It's not hard.
Yep. And then when they're walking away, he tries to ask her again to sushi, and she says she hates it. So he says he's lying. He hates it, which is a reversal of my dad lying that he liked sushi.
Ooh.
Everything comes together.
Everything comes back to your dad.
Also, I have a different podcast called Where's Dad? Yeah. He's here now. All right. Wow. She's being, the babysitter sees.
The babysitter sees them kiss.
Yeah.
And Rachel tries to play it off. She's like, oh, this was a business meeting. Good spreadsheets. Goodbye. And then Jessica.
Oh.
The
mom's name has been Emily.
Oh. Who the fuck is Rachel?
I don't know.
All right. I don't know why I wrote down Rachel.
I don't think I'm wrong, but I'm not convinced. But I don't remember ever hearing or seeing Rachel.
I think that you're totally right, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right. I decided her name was Rachel, just like you decided Ryan Reynolds is in this
I
movie.
haven't mentioned it anymore, but I keep seeing it throughout my notes. Almost every scene he's in.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
What's her name?
Emily.
All right.
Yeah.
Emily, whatever.
Julianne
we get
Moore.
it. Jessica is the babysitter, though. That is correct.
100%.
Jessica, is like, oh, you're so stupid for leaving him. But I'm like, don't you want to get with this dad? Why are you trying to like get them back together?
And the way she does it is actually so confusing. She says, the first thing she says is, your kids are the only ones that want to stay awake till their dad gets home. And I'm like, how's that supposed to mean anything to her?
Yeah.
And then the mom tries to pay the babysitter, and the babysitter's like, I don't want your slutty money.
Yeah. She's a great like teen girl line.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And then she's like, I'm going to go home and take sexy pictures. She
And
takes
this-
nudes for the first time, prints them out, puts them in an envelope for Cal.
It's so cringy, all of it, because I know that somewhere in hopefully like a garbage hole, whatever they're called, there's a digital camera somewhere with me taking sexy pictures of myself in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so disgusting.
Oh, yeah. There's
That's like child porn. It's so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a canon event, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Like I have braces in mine. Like it's just so gross, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But she prints out her digital pictures, puts them in an envelope.
Yep. We've got Cal is doing yard work again at the house, and we see Emily call him and pretend like she needs help relighting the pilot light. And he's like, oh, this is so sweet. She needs me because women need men for this sort of thing. She can't possibly.
He knows she doesn't like need him for the pilot light.
Right.
Which,
he knows that because he sees.
He's watching her the whole time. So this scene, and maybe it's because I'm PMSing, this scene was the first thing we've ever watched that made me tear up.
It was a cute scene.
Absolutely teared up. It's so sweet. So he's there in the bushes being a creep, watching her and the kids have ice cream. And then she walks to another room and calls him, and he picks it up. He's looking at her through the window, and she's nowhere near a pilot light. She obviously just like wants to hear his voice.
Yes.
It's so sweet. He knows that it's fake. He's explaining to her and watching her just like listen to him. Ugh, it really got me.
Yeah.
It got me good.
So this was a cute scene.
It was so cute.
And then we're going to
Home Depot
Home Depot.
for reasons unknown.
Yeah, but Cal is cooking up something for after, I think, this moment. He's
Yeah.
like, I got to get her back.
Yeah, I gotta try. She obviously wants something,
So he's like, I'm going to do this while this is happening.
Yeah.
So a couple different things. We're at the climax of this movie, and Cal is putting together a thing for Julianne Moore.
Jacob.
Mom,
Okay.
Oh, wait. What do you want to say?
Jacob's over in a wine bar with Emma Stone, or like in a wine buying place, because he's going to meet the parents. So he calls up Cal now for advice on like what to do for meeting the parents. A very cute little reversal,
Yes.
And then you go with your thing.
So that's happening. And then the mom finds the envelope.
The mom of the babysitter.
Yes, Jessica's mom finds the envelope that she had addressed to Cal in her drawer, and is understandably horrified.
But then
she brings it to her dad.
Yeah, she brings it to the husband and shows the husband pictures of their naked daughter.
With her sitting right there looking at
gross.
it. If I were this mother, it would be... I would tell her dad, but like...
No, I'm not showing him.
Just verbally say, this happened.
No one else has to have that image.
No
ever.
one needs to see this. And then you talk to her separately.
Yep.
Dad's obviously pissed. He's running over to their house because he's like, I'm going to kill this man. Understandable.
Yep.
But Cal is trying to put on this like cute little mini golf win his wife back thing.
Yep.
And then Hannah shows up with Ryan Gosling.
Because Nana, who's mentioned earlier, is not a grandma. It is their other daughter who couldn't pronounce her own name.
Yes. And they had her at 17.
In all caps, I wrote, Ryan Reynolds been banging his daughter. Okay, Ryan Gosling. Yeah. Okay. They had him when he was 17. That's why they got married so young.
Then Bernie shows up to kill Cal. And then David Lindhagen, or whatever his name is, shows up.
Yeah. Haagen-Dazs shows up with a sweater or something.
Yeah. And that she left behind in the car.
Yep.
Jacob punches him. All the men are fighting with each other. All they want to really do is kiss and talk about their feelings, but they have to punch each other because they're men.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of fighting. Steve Carell obviously doesn't know about the naked photos from the kid. All this crazy stuff. Stay away from my daughter. Stay away from my daughter with the different daughters.
Yes, lots of dads being like
cops
super.
Come, they're like, leave it alone because you're white. Yeah. They don't say that, but
but we know.
We get it. And then he says to the son as he's leaving, he's like, hey, go big or go home, bud, right? And the son's like, go home, Dad.
Yeah, even your creepy ass son is judging you. So that's when you know it's bad.
It's bad.
He's back at the bar. He tells the bartender, thank you for the judgmental tone, cocktail servant.
Crazy.
Because he's ordering shots at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yep. When he's there. And before this, we just kind of got it like a sad song montage.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie deletes Jessica's the babysitter's number. Jacob tells Emma Stone, you seen the headline today? It says you should call your dad, which is kind of cute. Robbie's mad at the dad, I guess, because Jessica likes the dad, whatever. So yeah, Jacob comes to the bar and he's like, you should see your son's 8th grade graduation. Very sad that this guy has to tell his dad about it, And
he's like, I was going to do that. And this is when Ryan Gosling is like, I love Hannah. Like, I don't know what I was doing before this.
Yeah, I didn't like my life before. I didn't think this could be real. I thought it was pathetic when other people had it, but like now it's real and I like it. Still doesn't really win Steve Carell over.
No, which is fair.
Yeah, it's
He's
fair.
seen a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I trust him, to be honest.
No.
I think there's solid reasons not to.
Absolutely.
But I also do agree that, like, I think that it's not crazy to go through this experience of being like not understanding what love is and then experiencing it and being like, oh shit, like this is huge. Wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then we go to the 8th grade graduation. For some reason, Robbie, the son, who got in trouble for making a whole speech where he kept saying asshole over and over again, is asked to be the salutatorian.
He's the salutatorian.
I accidentally wrote slutatorian. But they say, yeah, you're the kid who's going to give a speech.
The salutatorian. I think it's the second one to the valedictorian. So you both get a speech. He's like the second best.
Best at what?
Grades.
You think that this kid's the best at grades?
I don't think he is.
I just don't think they should have let him speak. It's crazy.
Clearly, yeah. And his speech, shockingly, goes off the rails. It becomes, he's talking about love being a scam.
Yeah, it's the biggest scam of all.
This is what I'm going to use my time for.
I love this because I was in love at that age so many times, so many different ways, and it feels absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so relatable.
I was like, yeah, when you're 13, the crushes I had, I was like, we're going to get married.
Yeah, I'd like test my names with their last names. I was making like acrostic poems for men, for boys. I talked to like once, I
know, just like a boy in class.
It was wild.
Yes.
How insane.
I would feel that way. Or like if I had celebrity crushes, like I would figure out like, and they're obviously adults, but I was like, oh, when they meet me, which they will,
they'll fall in love.
Yeah.
How could they not
figure it out?
They know about destiny like I do. Yeah. They can feel what I've been putting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like in love with this same guy, like all of middle school till early high school. It's crazy.
Yeah. I definitely had a crush like that. Yeah.
It
turns out he was gay.
Oh my God. So many of mine were. I have no radar for that. It's unbelievable. I remember once I was like this was mid high school, I guess. I was at some kind of like summer global young leadership conference. And I remember having such a crush on this guy. And I told some of the other like people in my group about it. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, he told all of us that he's gay. And I was like,
I think it's because gay men aren't being creepy towards you.
I think so.
That's
and they're just
really
like
what
fun
it
and
is.
playful.
Yeah,
because
they're like, I'll
I'm not
treat
gonna be
you
weird.
like a human.
person. So similar to
Which
being a
is
person.
so
Yeah.
nice.
Yep, it is.
Women like that.
They do, turns out. Okay, so he's telling his speech. Cal yells, "Stop."
Yes, he interrupts. My son's graduation speech sucks. So he commandeers it and starts giving his own speech.
I just can't believe he said out loud of the audience, "My son's graduation speech sucks."
I did love how much the parents shit on this kid.
It's really nice.
Like,
And it's
they're like, we love him, but he's fucking weird, right?
I just think that's how I think good parents are.
Oh, you
they
gotta
love
know
you to
that
your
your kid-
face because they're supposed to. But as a team, like, we made a weird one.
They're like, I don't know. This one's kind of bizarre.
Yep.
I like him, but what the fuck?
Yep.
What
absolutely.
are they doing?
And then essentially he like makes a love speech about his wife. They met at 15.
He loves her even when he's hated her.
And he's like, married couples get that. And then we cut to Bernie
Married
and
couples,
being like,
which I think, if you're with somebody for that long, you are going to hate them at some point.
Yeah, you'll manage.
You are going to go through a lot of different feelings, and hopefully you continue to love them. That's what matters.
And then after the speech, the kid says also, he goes back, he's like, "I still love you, Jessica." And the audience applauds. And then he's like, "Even when you caught me masturbating," and the dad cuts it off. Whatever.
Yeah, because this kid has no boundaries. He needs to calm the fuck down. He's so proud of how he jerked off to his babysitter.
And no one's told him otherwise. So
no
why
one
wouldn't
has
he?
said stop being a
Except
creep.
for Jessica, but you don't have to believe women. You can just push along with your agenda.
And then she encourages the behavior even more by giving him her nudes.
Yep, she's like, "You'll need this in high school."
Had with her at the graduation. You're just carrying your
It's all
nudes
gross
around
and
with
weird.
you, girl.
Yep. And whatever. It's after they graduate. They're all talking to each other, and I think he says to her, "Sorry if I made you uncomfortable, but I figure you like my dad. Then in a few years I'll look like him, and I'll come for you then." And I'm like, that would have been a fine place to end it. I don't know why she had to do the nudes thing. It was very
she was
weird.
like, "Here you go."
And that's kind of the last scene is,
That's
they're
kind
talking.
of it.
There's
Steve
implications about him
Carell to Ryan Gosling is like, "I bought a firearm and I'm prepared to shoot you in the face with it,"
which is a joke, I guess.
Which is a joke, but
dads
dads
are so fucking
I don't like that.
weird about. Was your dad ever weird about any guy that you dated?
I don't think that my dad liked a lot of guys that I dated, but my dad isn't that kind of dad.
Yeah.
But like my dad definitely, especially in high school, like my dad is very friendly, very outgoing. My dad wants to be besties with everyone.
That's
like
cute.
is very friendly and outgoing.
Yeah.
And like around dudes that I dated in high school, it was like just like he was just like, I'm
Good
not
for
even
him.
gonna fucking talk to this guy. Like, so it wasn't like like, oh, I've got a gun, but he was just like,
Come on.
He was just like,
He was
"Okay."
probably right.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He was just like, all right, whatever.
My dad, I think maybe I only met one or two of the guys I dated because he lived in Miami. And he met one. And I remember at some point he started like kind of like being a jerk or like drilling down or maybe pretending to do the like, what the hell are you? And I'm like, you haven't been here. Like, what right do you have to do this? And then I remember he and a lot of my family liked one of my long-term exes or my relationships. And I remember being like, this is a red flag. This isn't good either,
No.
But otherwise, obviously, since he was gone, it could. I remember once he and my brother were having a bizarre argument. My dad was drunk, crazy about Russians. He's like, any Russian person would kill their own mother for $5 American, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, this is crazy. When we're at a restaurant, your son doesn't enjoy hearing this. Why do you keep saying it? He's like, Natasha, if I heard that you were dating a Russian man, I would fly over and break it up. And I was like, if I knew that's all it took for you to visit, I would have done that 10 years ago. And then he was quiet the rest of dinner. My brother later like high-fived me. He's like, that was so cool. Dads are weird, man.
Dads are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that behavior.
Nope.
And especially because he has an adult daughter. Like my dad was
She's
never
an
like
adult.
that as an adult.
No. And that's what Ryan Gosling said. He's like, you didn't tell me you had an adult daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I
And
stand
this
by.
is where it kind of ends. And I think, we don't see a lot of Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
No.
So that one's hard.
It's hard.
But I could see it lasting. I
Yeah.
did think they were cute.
Yeah.
And with the parents, they're either going to stay I hope that they work through it, but they need some couples therapy.
Yeah, I stand by everything we've said.
Yeah.
We're very smart and we assessed quickly the truth.
Yeah. This was a straightforward one.
A really
maybe.
enjoyable film.
It's really funny.
It never felt too long.
No.
Which was surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Unlike the Batman.
Way too long. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening.
We come out every
Tuesday. Follow us on all of the things, and we will see you next week.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.